One of the ways that I recommend people practice breathing is simply by using your nose. Your nose has a filter. My mouth doesn't usually have a filter at all, but there is not actually a breathing filter there either. So when you're breathing in and out through your nose, there are a lot of health benefits to it. So if you're practicing diaphragmatic breathing in and out of your nose, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So let's do it together. Another option that you can utilize to practice connecting with your breath is utilizing longer exhales. When we use a longer exhale, this is going to allow our autonomic nervous system to down-regulate. So try it with me right now. Take a nice big inhale and then allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale. Inhale and exhale. Doing this can bring about a sense of peace and calm no matter what's going on around you, and I recommend that you utilize it on a regular basis to lengthen your exhales as opposed to how long your inhales are. Another tool is utilizing the same length of inhales, the same length of holds, and the same length of exhales, and this is known as box breathing. So if we're to breathe in for a 4 count, and then hold that for a 4 count, breathe out for a 4 count, and hold that for a 4 count. We can continue this and lengthen our inhales, holds, exhales, holds, so that we're doing a very large box breathing. So if we go into 10, and then hold, exhale, and hold. That's another technique that we can utilize to just get more control of how we're breathing. When you're consciously breathing, this is better than when you're subconsciously breathing, especially because most people breathe 12 to 16 times per minute. So if you can imagine that you're breathing 12 to 16 times a minute like this, is it any wonder that you have a whole bunch of tension in your neck and shoulders all day? So when we're breathing on purpose, there's a lot to be gained from that. We can also utilize different breathing techniques for our daily things that we have going on, like bowel movements, which then becomes really helpful in childbirth. So if you would like to have a much more enjoyable bowel movement, then I recommend that you utilize some push breathing, which is wait until your bowel movement is completely ready. Again, also wait until your baby is completely ready before you try pushing that out. I also recommend utilizing a squatty potty so that you're in a squatting position with your feet elevated and your knees above your hips. And then as your bowel movement is coming out, you give a downward type of breath. So this is a J-shaped exhale, if you're envisioning it, that when you breathe out, it's an audible exhale that if you were to hold a mirror in front of your mouth, you would be fogging up that mirror. And this sort of movement is what you're envisioning for that. That can make your next bowel movement or your next birthing experience a lot more enjoyable. The last thing that I want to touch on is a cleansing breath. So if you are having a heck of a time, this is also a really great time, a great tool to utilize during transition in labor. After you've had a contraction or you've had something stressful happen, that you take a cleansing breath. Now, a cleansing breath can be whatever you need it to be, but it's a powerful symbol of what it is that you're letting go of. So if you just had a contraction, a cleansing breath can be, we're going to let go of all of the contractions that have happened and we're moving forward with labor. Or if you're having a really stressful meeting and then you get out of it and you're done with that, you're going to let that go. If you've had a really stressful day with the kids and you're kind of done for the day, you just take a cleansing breath and move on. So cleansing breath is symbolizing that you're letting go of whatever it is that you don't need anymore in order to move forward. So that can look a couple of different ways. For me, it usually looks like a short inhale and a just kind of let it all go sort of sigh, and I usually do this with my hands. You could also do horse lips where you're going like that. I always do this with my hands, I guess. I can't really stop it. I'm going to sit on my hands and try to do that again. It's less effective. This is way more effective. But a cleansing breath is just letting go of whatever has happened so that you don't carry it with you into the future.